To the next presenter.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So we have a very fascinating story of Bishwajit Naik, who will share the Aveti learning story. We came upon it through Prakhar when he was with doing the Sikya intervention in Odisha a few years ago. But Bishwajit, you must tell a story and the story of Aveti and how it's really scaled. It's a very fascinating story. Please share with us.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
It's coming up, Bishwajit.
So, yeah, good afternoon, everybody. I am Bishwajit Naik, co-founder of Aveti Learning, an educational social enterprise dedicated to empowering students, primarily in rural area, to achieve their full potential. And I myself is a product of that. So today in Odisha, we have assembled a diverse team with proficiency in 10 languages, including 2 languages from outside of India. So my childhood was beautifully nomadic. It's largely due to my father's transferable job as a civil engineer. So these unique opportunities allowed me to experience life in various rural and remote areas of Odisha. And such an early exposure gave me insightful glimpse into the workings of this region, and which I truly cherished every moment of it. But just until something changed in a fateful night of 7th August 1991. My father was fatally injured by some miscreants. At only 16, I was the eldest in my family, and that very same night, my mother took me and my 4 siblings back to from the comfort of our government quarter to the village with an uncertain future. So that is the first time I got used to the test of this rural education, rural things, or whatever. So that was my time with the rural. So I know that the relatives helped us initial stage, but we knew that sympathy won't last long. So I was very concerned as a 16-year-old, how do we survive without my father's income? So this is where life again turns an unexpected turn. This time, the intervention came from the Chief Minister of Odisha at that time, Sri Biju Patnaik, who gave us a 50,000 rupees of, an amount just right within 4 days of my father's death. And the state decision to provide a full salary instead of a mere pension for my late father was a lifeline, and love and affection from my village was priceless. So this is my father's last wish, to be an engineer. So I pursued my engineering at NIT Rourkela. And like many of ambitious batchmates, I moved to the US at the earliest opportunity in 2000. But the only difference was I was carrying a big baggage. That baggage is 50,000 rupees of help, and also the salary for my late father. And also a lot of, that love and affection that was never far away from my thoughts. So I made plans how to return back to my village in some meaningful and in a meaningful way. So that is the story, and that is the foundation of what Aveti Learning is today. So it took almost 12 years to think about a sustainable way. I was just going to my village all over to give some money to somebody's marriage or somebody's tuition fee. But what I was saying is that was not a sustainable method, just a one-time help. So all of a sudden, a mail come from Khan Academy who's recruiting for translation volunteers, and back is in early days of Khan Academy in 2012. And eagerly I signed up. And it was this phase that I envisioned bringing Khan Academy to my village. I love their model. But they were not receptive at that time. So therefore, I have to reinvent Khan Academy in Odisha. The initial journey was from 2012 to 14 was very challenging one. But everything shifted when I met Sushant. And he's there today. And he has been more just a colleague. He's a brother in arms, someone who has been my side through thick and thin. So the initial 2 years, it became clear that the existing Khan Academy model won't resonate locally. For example, when I was translating Khan Academy probability, there is a NBA player called LeBron James. So he is basically throwing the basketball 6 times to the hoop, and out of which 2 times the ball gets in. So therefore, the success probability is 2 by 6. But when I tried to translate this thing, I really didn't understand that well the basketball, nor I could engage with LeBron James. So, but Khan Academy and the staff was very adamant that I should not change anything. So essentially, what we're saying is take the American stuff as it is, try to put in my village, it worked. And we tried, and of course it didn't. So to address this issue, we shifted the examples from LeBron James to Mahendra Singh Dhoni, from Thames River to Mahanadi River, and that is how we started. We learned our lesson number one, that we have to contextualize. But of course, we kept the Khan Academy spirit, like 2 minutes video with a focus on a particular concept, then a master-based exercise, and so on. So basically, what we did in science, we took the best part of the West and shipped it to the East. And Sushant was my, the co-founder who actually himself not did 5, 10, or 15, 5,000 videos he localized to Odia that align to the Odisha board syllabus, and most importantly, the local test. So this is how we solve one of the biggest problems that time, content in local language. However, I'm talking about 2014, no geo revolution. My village still didn't have internet, and electricity can be very inconsistent. And in fact, electricity and election are correlated. So I was employed at Oracle that time, and I was one of the player. So my team was building so-called Oracle's most advanced on-premise servers, incorporating both hardware and software. So essentially, you can think about that server, just put it inside. So that itself is a cloud. That itself, that server has so much power and all this thing that can probably do the IT needs of a small and medium enterprise. And also at the same time, there's a single motherboard chip called Raspberry Pi was very popular, which cost for only $36. So given my familiarity with this Linux kernel and all this thing, I utilize my skill that I own in daytime and evening. I built with a lot of love and passion a device like this, where
Arun, just look at that device. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
where we can put the content that has been created by Sushant and take it to the last mile and deliver the content, and the algorithm to deliver the content is just right in this patch. And the best part of this, it just runs on a battery. So therefore, no internet, limited electricity. And what we did that time also, if you remember, Akash tablet and the data wine tablets were coming in the government of India was doing cheap tablets. So therefore, we also did some client device so that if we ship this thing, just as you see in the picture here, if we can see 10 of this tablet, and we can have a self-paced personalized learning right in the village that never seen internet and electricity is a problem. So we solve the infrastructure problem in a most Jugaru ways that we are popularly known in India.
So you built your own server?
Yes, yeah.
How much server cost?
$36, sir. So about
that's the chip cost, the server cost.
But the server is like, this is just a case that we built. So the total all around 8,000 rupees, we can build a server like this.
Wow, that's a major breakthrough. Okay, so continue. Sorry to interrupt you.
Okay, so we have the content, and we have a mechanism to deliver the content. But as you know, just by creating these kind of things in America or Bangalore, it's not going to solve the problem in the ground. So that is where I was basically taken a sabbatical again and returned to my village. But I encountered a myriad of challenges. So by that time, I have established a 1,600 square foot tech-aided tuition center. And initially, I aimed to provide free education. But the intention was met with skepticism. Many questioned my motives, wondering if I had political ambitions or I have any affiliation to missionaries, and others speculated that about my finances and potential monetary gains from the US because of this intervention. As I grappled with these doubts, a local thug known for his strong arm tactics approached me, seeking for a donation because that was a month of July, and in August and September, it's a Ganesh Puja. And in fact, when many viewed them as a troublemaker, I recognized his potential. And again, I will connect my dots to my village. In 1991, when I was staying in my village, I came to know how to, basically, that is where I learned my lessons. So here, what I'm saying is that I'm not preaching you by staying in the cities of Mumbai and Bangalore and all this thing. I myself was spent a lot of my young time, my childhood in those villages. So instead of giving him one-time donation, I extended an offer, and he obliged. So with that, we had our dedicated tuition center manager is in place. And we later used this tactics to hire local entrepreneurs to operate our centers. Because we just believe that just by throwing some, servers and throwing some, this thing won't going to solve the last mile problem. And we need human. We need human at the right time at the right place. And we need to enable the human with tech-related stuff. So we implemented tools and measures for oversight and ensuring that its operation runs smoothly. By close of 2019, we have successfully operated 125 such centers all across Odisha. And most of this center was financed by people like me. I heard the previous presenter was talking about how do I manage manage basically people from outside. Yes, that's what we did. What I do chai pe charcha every Saturday, Sunday with my affluent Odia neighbors in Silicon Valley and tell them this story. And this story actually encouraged them, inspired them, because they also want to do something. And they want to basically differentiate between their partner, in the sense that I have also a big vehicle. I have also my kids are in Stanford or Harvard or whatever. And what I do, I sell them self-actualization need that you can do something back in Odisha, in memory of your mother, in memory of your father, or do something. And that is how we scaled to 125 centers. So all these things are doing great. And again, I took another sabbatical in 2019, December. I didn't know that there is something coming. With the onset of COVID, initially seemed to be shattered all our aspirations. By May 2020, all our centers had closed. However, every closed door often leads to a new pathways. And our battle-hardened, resilient team was primed for the next challenge. We pivoted quickly, launching our learning app, and quickly gained traction. Thanks to our 6-year-old head start in creating top-notch vernacular content in Odia, we gained popularity overnight. Our students' unwavering support and love validated our efforts. So subsequently, our efforts caught the attention of the government. We are presented with the opportunity to collaborate with the government of Odisha. Now our presence spans over 13 districts, reaching over 1,400 schools. And just this year, we delivered impressive 100 millions, 1 crore minutes of video content to this institution without internet, and all these things in the offline grid. So again, leveraging the advancement of AI, we are also undergoing another transformative reinvention in the post-COVID era. We are now a proud research collaborators with IIT Bombay, IIT Harvard, and IIT Bhubaneswar. We are actively contributing to the foundational AI model under the AI for Bharat initiative. And our goal is what we achieved in Odisha. How can we quickly do similar kind of thing in other 21 scheduled Indian languages? And today, we are happy to say that we are going to Karnataka and Uttar Pradesh and hopefully Jharkhand. The same base content that we have created for 8 years now can be done in less than 8 weeks in another language. So that is the power of technology. And that is the power we always believe that we can use technology, the human intelligence and artificial intelligence can come together to solve some of the most difficult problem in our education system in the rural and remote area. So what began in my village as a gesture of giving back has now expanded across India. And also we have aspiration to reach beyond the Indian borders. So while we acknowledge that journey ahead is dotted with challenges, we believe that with the right collaborators, we can pave the way to countless unprivileged children to dream bigger. And that is where I want to eagerly anticipate a fruitful collaboration with Mission Samriddhi. And in fact, I am working for last 8 years, 2 jobs. One is as a Silicon Valley mercenary during daytime to feed my kids, and the nighttime Indian missionary to feed the kids that I left long back. And I hope at some point of time, I would be an Indian missionary only and serving the people there and get the kids the opportunity and reach their full potential. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Vishwajit. Brilliant. So we should just for each center, what is the kind of initial capital expense for you? Or is it independent or it comes with a school?
Yeah, so basically when we started, our initial expenses was less than $500. That's all.
Okay. Mhm.
And once $500, but it's very important to find that guy. Like, with the 1.4 billion people, we have to find the right guy. Somebody was telling about this thing that needs a point of contact. So my point of contact here, sir, is that person who is going to take care of this thing. Just by building something, dreaming big here in America, or you are in Bangalore or somewhere in Chennai, it's not. We have to go to Kalahandi. We have to find a guy in Kalahandi who is going to do that job.
So we have a Ullas library concept that every village we want to put a Ullas library with ILP, and we have more than 200 libraries. So those could be the center for Aveti learning centers along with the library. So that's a very, very low hanging touch point. So we just need to understand on only the what are the additional resources or devices it will require to connect the two programs.
Yeah.
Very, very, very losing.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. That was, I also show you something, one more thing, if you allow me.
Yeah, sure.
Please.
So if you see this thing, right? So this is basically a center like this. It's called Old Ibrahim Jasper. So 202 students are learning. There's so many enrollments, and they answer so many questions. And if you go here, we can dig down. Like, basically, for example, we implemented this mastery-based exercise that Bloom taxonomy and all these things started in MIT long back. So we have implemented that kind of thing. For example, here is a grade 5 math, and the kid is going to do as many number of exercises as they like. And end of the day, we are going to have this kind of report. By the way, even if it is offline and all these things, we do so basically here's the deal. Every village in Odisha is not connected by internet. So we go to Bhubaneswar by internet, and from Bhubaneswar to that village by sneakernet. In the means that they will give a, you get it, you take this thing, and then you put a pen drive. We collect the data from here, and that pen drive can be transferred to a bus, because every village in Odisha is connected to Bhubaneswar by a bus. So from the bus, our guy is going to go and then get the pen drive, and then we can sync in, and you can see this kind of reports.
Beautiful, lovely.
And here, you can get the students, for example, Priya, right? So you can see Priya, for example, she is struggling here. So why is struggling? You can see, multiple question and get a hint and all this thing, right? So where in some cases, for example, here in the Priya, say it's a 100% success in this thing, right? So all these kind of things that is available today for the rural, for the urban kids on their fingertip with YouTube and whatever, the Khan Academy and Byju's and whatever this thing, we have built this thing, keeping, and our design was ensure that how can we get this thing done at the last mile. And this is the report, for example. This is the Odisha report, 1373 schools right now. Yeah, so this is 1 million. So we crossed 1 million minutes just recently. And the best part of this thing, these things all are, basically when I was talking about that Gunda story, right? We have to build tools. Otherwise you cannot manage them. So with the right kind of tools, then you talk in WhatsApp or chat, then okay, your money, your 3,000 rupees dependent on X amount of outcome to happen. And once we link that thing, we basically always in corporate thing, we always give them bonus, give them salary and all these things. And basically what we're thinking here, can we take the best part of the corporate, and can we build this thing a kind of a reward mechanism? Otherwise, we can't really do with a very social mindset that, okay, you do or not do, you get 3,000 rupees. So that is, in my opinion, called chawal, free chawal, do taka ka chawal. And that, in my, sorry to say, that thing might help, but at the same time, we are trying to create more bad things for society than this thing. So I believe full-fledged capitalism, we need to basically give them right kind of tools and rewards as well.
Yeah. So what first session of Gramodaya, you are listening to Gramodaya, the 16 specialization. You have a tool set to convert that into a video or audio video session, which is that right?
Yes, sir. So here is a demo I can show you right away, because I kept all these things in my this thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Okay, so
then we can look at it, that other areas of rural development of 16 areas of specialization, if they can be.
you guys can see my screen. So here's a very simple. You put your this thing, and then what you can do. So basically, it's human eyes, right? So yeah, we just do one click and it will render. to a video. And the next one is if you want to translate, right? So this is where you can go and then do like, you choose different kinds of models and all this thing. I don't know, something's going wrong in my demo. Hold on, just. Yeah.
Wow.
So we have used either you can do Google or AI for Bharat. So basically, AI for Bharat is a Nandan Nilekani's initiative in IIT Madras. So where we are, India is building their AI stack, and we are proud to say that 2 of our languages in Odisha, we are looking into it, and we do have a lot of background into the AI development and all this thing. So that is how we are leveraging technology, and so that's what we did. Like in 2014, it was Raspberry Pi. And then in 2019, when this thing comes, WhatsApp bot, and then mobile app, and in 2023, with AI and generative AI and all these things, we're trying to see how can we leverage tech all the time, and that is why I'm basically based out of the Silicon Valley, so that I can feed Sushant every day, what is the things that are happening in the West, and we can take and then use it there. So this is how we can do. This is how basically we are doing internally, and this is a IIT. And also I would say that we just didn't do on our own. It is because of this, exposure to IIT Bombay and IIT Dharwad, and then couple of MIT, and then that some grants from there came, and we had a team that could do. And I'm proud to say that we have everything covered, like a good tech team and a super functioning, support team. So that is our guarantee that whenever we took this 13-minute school, 13 minutes is our time to serve. And if something comes in WhatsApp, we basically send them within this I am attending, and hopefully in the next 13 to 14 minutes, that thing might have resolved. And if it's not, then we have put a district level cluster head who can go there and then get the solve in next 1 or 2 days. So that is in my opinion, that if you do not give the support like an Amazon kind of support to this, to roll this thing, then again, like, we will just we're just going to think about changing the world, but the world has been changed and we don't know.
Thank you, Vishwajit.
So there was a quick question, Vishwajit, in the chat about is this going to be free of cost to the rural children at 1,200 schools, or is it a price service? How do you price this? Is it a subscription model? How is it? Quickly, if you can just enlighten us about the how do you make it viable?
Yeah, very quickly I do. So initially I thought of going to the charity to my village, and when my village people asked this question, why I am doing this thing, I couldn't answer. So therefore I removed that thing. I said that 100 rupiah do. Yeah, no, I didn't want to give them. Basically, initially, and I'm not a Bill Gates or Elon Musk, who if I go to my village and they will say that, oh, so they will believe, they will try to suspect my intention. So that when I put 100 rupees, 2 things happen. First thing is we see no attendance, like the attendance become better. So when we give them something for free, they take it for granted, and things never happen. And okay, this will happen for Gates and for Musk and all this thing. But for a guy like me, I'm going there, they will ask me these kind of stupid questions, and I don't have any answer. And that day, when I turned into from a non-profit, initially my objective was to go there and then show some pictures in Facebook to show that how great I am. But when I got that model, when that Gunda came and showed me the way, then I thought that if this thing can be run, it's only one country in the world that can be run with 1.4 billion people. We can find these people very quickly. So no free things. We charge very little money, and that is how we sustain. So 41 employees of our team get paid because of that small collection from that areas.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So Arun, incidentally, CYST has been connected to Aveti Learning, and as you know, we are working in 500 villages in Odisha now, in those 60 gram panchayats. So we are trying to do a feasibility there, how to work with Aveti.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, Vishwajit.
So Ramji, one more thing. So I just learned about Rhapsody Foundation from Anil Srinivasan before this thing.
Yes.
I'd love to connect with him, because that is something we are doing called Aveti X. So we started a lecture. We got people from NASA. Same procedure I followed. So whenever I ask people some money to give me, they said, okay, I give you money, but also I give you my time. And that is how I built a Pravasi Odia network. But Srinivasan was saying that he has made some Caltech this thing.
Don't worry, Vishwajit, I'll connect you. That's my job, okay? I'm the connector. I'll connect you. We celebrate you, we will connect you, and we will catalyze both of you, okay? Don't worry about that. We'll do that. Thank you, Vishwajit.